Welcome back, Stoic seekers. Have you ever found yourself agreeing to something you didn't fully endorse, all because someone nudged you, ever so subtly? Perhaps it was that extra dessert you accepted even when your stomach was pleading, no more, or that time you nodded along to a plan because the enthusiasm around you was just too infectious. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's these little moments that bring us to today's topic, a riveting journey into the world of Stoicism and empowerment. We'll unearth 20 Stoic lessons that arm you with the wisdom to sidestep those strings, attempting to puppeteer your will. So, let's buckle up for an illuminating ride through ancient principles that are as relevant today as they ever were. If you're excited to learn how to stay the captain of your ship amidst the storm of external influences, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and ring the notification bell. It's your first step towards a more controlled and deliberate life. Stoicism, my dear friends, is a philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece and Rome. It is centered around virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and its teachings are simple yet profound. We should focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. Through the Stoic lens, the world becomes less about what happens to us and more about how we respond to it. It teaches us that self-control is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding and channeling them constructively. The wise Stoic does not allow external events to dictate their inner peace. Instead, they see obstacles as opportunities to practice virtues and cultivate tranquility. Imagine you're in a boat on a vast ocean. The Stoic way is not to control the sea. That would be impossible. But to master the sails and the rudder, navigating the waters skillfully regardless of the storms that may come. So, when someone tries to manipulate you, wielding the Stoic lens means observing the situation objectively, recognizing the attempt for what it is, and choosing a response that aligns with your principles, not their agenda. In essence, Stoicism empowers you to become the wise captain of your soul, steering through life's twists and turns with purpose and composure. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into these 20 Stoic lessons and equip you with the strategies to avoid being controlled. Keep that controlled and deliberate life in focus, because up next, we'll delve into specific techniques that can help you apply these Stoic lessons to everyday situations. Know thyself. This age-old adage forms the bedrock of Stoicism and is a vital lesson in safeguarding your autonomy against manipulation. To know thyself is to possess a profound understanding of your values, emotions, and reactions. It's about honest self-reflection, recognizing your strengths and acknowledging your vulnerabilities. Understanding who you are is the first line of defense against those who may seek to sway your choices. By cultivating self-awareness, you sharpen your ability to detect when someone is trying to manipulate you. It's like developing an internal sensor that beeps whenever there's a discrepancy between what's happening around you and what resonates within you. Let's consider an example to bring this lesson to life. Picture yourself at work, where a colleague is pressing you to support their project, one that you have reservations about. In such moments, self-awareness acts as your compass. It helps you to pause and ask, does this align with my goals and principles? When you know yourself, you can assert your stance with clarity, resisting the pull of persuasive tactics. But how do you foster this self-awareness? Start by reflecting on your day at regular intervals. Ask yourself questions like, what decisions did I make today and why? Were they in alignment with my true self, or was I influenced by others? Journaling can be a powerful tool in this endeavor, allowing you to track patterns in your behavior that may hint at susceptibility to external influence. Another technique is to meditate on the Stoic teachings, focusing on the virtues. By internalizing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you begin to see your world through a lens of these core principles. This clarity makes it easier to spot manipulation because you have a solid framework to evaluate any given situation. In summary, to know yourself is to understand your inner workings, your values, and your boundaries. It's a journey of continual self-discovery, rooted in the wisdom of Stoicism, equipping you with the insight to recognize manipulation and the fortitude to remain steadfast in your convictions. Remember, the more attuned you are to yourself, the less sway anyone else has over your will. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the remaining Stoic lessons that will further enhance your ability to navigate life with intention and autonomy. The third lesson from our Stoic treasure trove focuses on the power of perception, a crucial tool in disarming manipulators and maintaining your autonomy. Perception is the lens through which we view the world, a subjective interpretation of reality that can be shaped, tweaked, and, if we're not careful, exploited by others for manipulation. So, how exactly can we harness the power of perception in our favor? It's through the art of reframing, consciously altering the way we perceive situations, enabling us to detach from manipulative narratives and see the bigger picture. Let's dig into this with an example. Imagine a salesperson employs high-pressure tactics to coerce you into making a hasty purchase. They might use scarcity, playing on your fear of missing out, or authority, suggesting experts recommend this action. If you're untrained in Stoic thought, you might fall into the trap, believing you must act immediately. But with the power of perception, you step back and reframe the scenario. You see the sales pitch not as a command, but as information to be evaluated. You ask yourself, is this truly beneficial for me, or am I being pushed to serve someone else's interests? By shifting your perception, you strip the manipulator of their power. You are no longer a reactive puppet, but a proactive agent. You understand that the urgency is an illusion and that your decision must align with your values and time frame, not the manipulators. The Stoics teach us that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. By adopting a refractive mindset, you practice suspending immediate judgment, analyzing the motives behind persuasive attempts, and responding with deliberate choice. To strengthen your power of perception, engage in daily practices that challenge your assessment of situations. Whenever you feel a tug on your strings, pause and ask, is there another way to view this? Encourage cognitive flexibility by considering multiple perspectives. This practice will inoculate you against coercion, reinforcing your intellectual defenses. Remember, your perception holds the key to your chains or your freedom. It is through mastering this power that you can dismantle any attempt at manipulation and emerge with your autonomy intact. As we proceed through our journey of Stoic lessons, keep this power close to heart, for it will serve you well in every interaction and decision, empowering you to remain the true master of your fate. Guarding the gate. Tips on how Stoics protect their minds from external influence. The fourth Stoic lesson is a crucial one, focusing on the protection of our mental domain. This is where we build a fortress around our minds, ensuring that it's we who decide which thoughts to let in and which to keep out. It's about being vigilant at the gate of your mind, screening every piece of information and every suggestion that comes your way. Imagine encountering a gatekeeper within you, tasked with the critical role of filtering out harmful and manipulative influences before they take root in your consciousness. This is guarding the gate in action. It begins with establishing strong mental boundaries, placing a barrier between yourself and potential manipulators. Let's take a practical approach to this concept. Say, for example, you're watching a news segment that's heavily charged with emotional rhetoric designed to sway public opinion. A vigilant Stoic would recognize this as an attempt to breach the gates of their mind and would question the motives behind the information being presented. They would seek out facts rather than getting swept up in the emotional current. Guarding the gate also means staying true to your principles, even when massive waves of societal pressure crash against your resolve. It could be the latest trend that everyone seems to be following, or a widely accepted practice that doesn't sit well with you. The Stoic stands firm, unfazed by the roar of the crowd, guided by their own compass, their reason and judgment. To fortify your mental gates, you must regularly exercise discernment. This means taking time to reflect before reacting, understanding the power of the pause. Just as a gatekeeper inspects those who wish to enter, take a moment to inspect the thoughts and influences vying for your attention. Do they serve your higher purpose? Are they aligned with Stoic virtues? Another tip is to cultivate selective ignorance. Not all information is beneficial, and not all inputs are worthy of your attention. Be selective about what you consume. be it media, conversations, or the company you keep. Reducing the noise allows you to focus on what truly matters. In conclusion, guarding the gate is an active, ongoing practice. It's about developing a keen awareness of the influences around you and exercising discernment in what you allow into your mental space. By upholding this Stoic lesson, you ensure that your mind remains a sanctuary of calm and clarity, impervious to the manipulative forces that seek to undermine your autonomy. As we continue to delve into the powerful lessons Stoicism offers, keep in mind that the gate you guard is the entrance to a temple, the temple of your inner self, exploring the four virtues. These are foundation principles in Stoicism that provide a framework for living a resilient and autonomous life. By understanding and embodying these virtues, you create a shield against attempts to manipulate your will and influence your decisions. The first virtue is wisdom, the knowledge of what is good, what is bad, and what is indifferent. Wisdom enables you to discern the difference between what you can control and what you can't. It's about making informed decisions that reflect your true self, rather than being swayed by external pressures. When faced with manipulation, it's wisdom that whispers, "This is not for my highest good," and guides you to choose a different path. Next, we have courage, the strength to confront fear, uncertainty, and intimidation. Courage is not about being fearless. It's about taking right action despite the presence of fear. In the context of manipulation, courage allows you to stand firm in your beliefs and values, even when they are challenged by others. It's the power to say no when everything and everyone around you screams yes. Justice, the third virtue, is about fairness, kindness, and giving others their due. It calls for treating everyone with respect and acting in the best interest of the community. When it comes to resisting manipulation, justice serves as a reminder to consider the impact of your actions on others and to resist the temptation to exploit or be exploited for selfish gains. Finally, we come to temperance, the virtue of self-control and moderation. It teaches you to master your desires and to resist the seduction of excess. In battling manipulation, temperance is your inner guardian that cautions against impulsive decisions and helps you maintain a balanced perspective, unaffected by the allure of immediate gratification. As you strive to incorporate the four virtues into your life, you build an inner citadel of strength and resilience. These virtues work in harmony, guiding you to live with integrity and authenticity. By keeping wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance at the core of your being, you ensure that your spirit remains unconquered by external forces seeking to pull your strings. Engrave these virtues upon your heart, dear viewers, for they are the pillars that uphold a stoic and self-determined existence. As we forge ahead in our exploration of Stoic lessons, let these virtues illuminate your path, steering you away from the traps of manipulation and towards the sovereignty of your soul. Remember, the journey to virtue is a path of constant practice, reflection, and growth, a journey well worth undertaking for those who wish to live a life of purpose and poise. Wisdom, my fellow Stoic adventurers, is the beacon that lights our way through the murky waters of manipulation. It is the sixth lesson we explore today, diving deep into the realm of discernment and understanding. Wisdom, in the Stoic sense, is not merely about being smart or knowledgeable. It's about possessing the practical insight to distinguish genuine guidance from deceitful coercion. Consider wisdom as your mental sieve, separating the wheat from the chaff, the truth from the falsehood. When an attempt to manipulate arises, it is wisdom that allows you to question the motives behind the words and actions directed at you. It asks, will this serve my growth, or will it hinder my progress? It is the internal voice of reason that helps you to evaluate the potential long-term consequences of short-term temptations. To cultivate wisdom, one must first listen, not only to the world around them but also to the silence within. It's in this silence that one can best hear the whispers of their intuition. Reflecting on past experiences is another way to develop wisdom. By learning from our previous encounters with manipulation, we can better anticipate and diffuse similar situations in the future. Wisdom also involves expanding our horizons, seeking knowledge from various sources, and learning from the stories and experiences of others. This practice of openness does not make you more susceptible to manipulation. Rather, it equips you with a diversified arsenal of insights to bolster your defenses. Moreover, wisdom encourages you to engage in critical thinking, to challenge popular opinion, and to ask probing questions. It helps you recognize the subtle signs of manipulation, the flattery that feels insincere, the urgency that seems manufactured, the choices that appear too constrained. In essence, wisdom is the guiding star that enables us to see beyond the immediate allure of persuasive tactics. It empowers us to make choices that are aligned with our core values and true will. It reminds us that we are the sculptors of our fate, carving out our destiny with deliberate, thoughtful strokes. So, enrich your mind with the pursuit of wisdom. Delve into the classics, meditate on the teachings of great philosophers, and engage in discussions that challenge and inspire. With each step on this path, you fortify your mind against the invasive tendrils of manipulation. As we continue this Stoic voyage, remember that wisdom is more than knowledge. It is the applied understanding that transforms knowledge into a protective shield, safeguarding your will against the wiles of manipulation. Keep wisdom close, as it will be your constant companion in the pursuit of a life led by purpose, not by the hidden scripts of others. Stay tuned, for we have much more to explore in the rich landscape of Stoic lessons, each one an invaluable tool in the art of living with intention and autonomy. Courage, dear viewers, is our seventh sacred Stoic lesson and a vital ally in the crusade against manipulation. It's the fiery spirit within that emboldens you to draw a line in the sand and say, no further, in the face of those who would seek to sway your decisions and control your actions. Courage is the force that empowers you to stand your ground with stoic bravery. Think of courage, not just as the act of resistance, but as the very essence of proactive autonomy. It's the gust of wind that fills your sails when you're called to navigate through the treacherous waters of coercion. When someone attempts to manipulate you, be it through guilt, flattery, or intimidation, it is courage that steadies your hand and calms your heart, allowing you to respond, not out of fear, but out of firm resolve. To foster this bravery, it's essential to recognize that courage can be cultivated incrementally. Just as a muscle strengthens with use, so too does our courage grow when we exercise it in small, daily acts of conviction. Begin by asserting yourself in minor situations that challenge your comfort zone. Voice your opinion when it differs from the consensus. Set boundaries in your personal and professional life, and more importantly, honor them consistently. It's also helpful to draw inspiration from historical figures and heroes of the Stoic tradition. Reflect on the tales of those who remain true to their principles despite overwhelming opposition. Consider Marcus Aurelius who, amidst the chaos of his reign, found the strength to uphold the values of wisdom and self-discipline. These stories serve as reminders that courage has long been a companion to those who pursue a life of virtue. Remember, dear friends, courage is not about the absence of fear. It's about acknowledging the fear and choosing to move forward regardless. It's about realizing that the only approval you need is your own, and understanding that the respect you hold for yourself is paramount. As you continue to fortify your courageous heart, know that every step taken in bravery is a step towards a freer, more authentic life. So when the moment comes, and you're faced with the subtle or overt pressures of manipulation, let your courage rise like a mighty wave, capable of washing away any influence that dares undermine your autonomy. In our next segment, we'll dive into yet another powerful Stoic lesson, one that will further hone our ability to live with unshakable resolve and independence. Until then, carry with you the torch of courage, illuminating the path of self-determination and shielding your will from the shadows of manipulation. Stay strong, stay brave, and most importantly, stay stoic. Justice, the eighth profound lesson drawn from the well of Stoic wisdom, invites us to contemplate the role of fairness in our interactions, particularly when countering the machinations of manipulators. It is the virtue that calls us to act with equity and to honor the truth, ensuring that our actions contribute to the greater good, rather than serving selfish ends. In the realm of manipulation, justice acts as a balancing scale, helping us weigh our responses against the backdrop of fairness and integrity. When someone attempts to sway you for their own benefit, Invoking justice guides you to consider not only the immediate impact of your decision on yourself, but also on those around you. It prompts you to ask, am I being fair to myself and to others by acquiescing to this demand? To embody justice in the face of manipulation, one must first strive to see beyond the surface of words and actions. This involves discerning the true intentions behind the persuasive tactics used by manipulators and understanding the potential repercussions of giving in to them. It requires a deep sense of duty to one's own principles, as well as to the well-being of the community. Practicing justice means actively seeking out the truth, refusing to participate in actions that could harm others or contribute to unfair outcomes. It is about resisting the urge to exploit others, recognizing the inherent value in every individual, and extending kindness and respect, even in the face of deception and coercion. One practical method of cultivating justice is through constant reflection on our actions and their effects on the world around us. Before making decisions, especially under pressure, we can question our motives and choose the course that aligns with the principles of fairness and respect for all parties involved. This helps us to resist the manipulative push and pull of others, and to stand firm in our convictions. Additionally, engaging in open and honest communication is a powerful way to uphold justice. When we express our concerns and boundaries clearly, we reduce the chances of misunderstanding and manipulation. It also sets a precedent for others, signaling that fairness and truth are non-negotiable virtues in our interactions. In essence, justice is the virtue that fortifies our moral compass, guiding us to act with conscience and consideration. It is the protective barrier that safeguards our will against those who would seek to subvert it for their own gain. As we delve further into the Stoic lessons, let us hold justice in high regard, for it is the very foundation upon which equitable and authentic relationships are built. By anchoring ourselves to justice, we ensure that our personal sovereignty remains unassailable, and we contribute to a world where manipulation is rendered powerless by the steadfastness of our virtue. Stay with us, as there is much more wisdom to uncover in our Stoic journey, a journey that promises to empower and liberate you from the subtle bonds of manipulation. Temperance, the ninth pivotal Stoic lesson, teaches us the art of self-control, a vital skill in maintaining our sovereignty when confronted with an attempt to manipulate our emotions. It is the virtue that empowers us to govern our reactions, to resist the siren call of impulsive decisions, and to anchor our responses in a state of calm deliberation. Consider temperance as the wise guardian that watches over your emotional realm, ensuring that you don't become ensnared by the immediate intensity of feelings that manipulation often aims to provoke. When someone tries to push your emotional buttons, be it through guilt, tripping, fear, mongering, or excessive flattery, it is temperance that whispers, stay true to your course. Do not let these waves unsettle the waters of your mind. To nurture a temperament of temperance, begin by recognizing the moments when you are most susceptible to emotional reactions. It could be during times of stress, when faced with conflict, or when you feel pressured to make a quick decision. In these instances, temperance calls for a pause, a moment to breathe deeply and step back from the precipice of haste. But how does one truly embody temperance, especially when our feelings seem to surge beyond our control? One effective strategy is to develop a personal mantra or affirmation that reminds you of your commitment to self-mastery. You might repeat to yourself, I am in control of my actions, not my emotions, not my emotions. Or I choose to respond with reason, not react with emotion. Another technique is to visualize a scenario where you successfully employ temperance. Imagine yourself being complimented for something you didn't achieve, or being criticized unfairly. In your mind's eye, see yourself responding with grace and poise, neither elated by praise nor deflated by criticism. This mental rehearsal prepares you for real-life situations where your emotional stability will be tested. Moreover, practicing mindfulness can greatly enhance your temperance. By being present in the moment and observing your feelings without judgment, you gain a clearer perspective. Mindfulness allows you to recognize the ebb and flow of emotions, understanding that they are transient and not the drivers of your actions. In cultivating this virtue, you will find that temperance does not mean the absence of feeling or the suppression of passion. Rather, it is the balanced integration of emotion and reason. It is the acknowledgement of your feelings, paired with the choice to act on them only when they serve your higher purpose. As we move forward in our exploration of Stoic teachings, let temperance be your guiding light through the fog of manipulation. Embrace this virtue, and you shall find that no external force can disturb the inner calm you have diligently fostered. By mastering temperance, you ensure that you remain the true arbiter of your fate, steadfast in your journey toward autonomy and resilience. Join us for the next segment as we delve deeper into the Stoic lessons that fortify our resolve and free us from the chains of manipulation. The company you keep. Stoic advice on surrounding yourself with the right people. The 10th Stoic lesson invites us to reflect on the profound impact that our social circle has on our beliefs and behaviors. The company you keep can either reinforce your autonomy and virtues or subtly erode them through manipulation and peer pressure. In the words of the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Think of your social circle as a garden where each person is a plant that either nourishes the soil of your character or poisons it. By choosing to associate with individuals who embody the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you create an environment conducive to growth and resilience. But how can you discern who truly uplifts you and who might be a manipulator in disguise? Start by observing the values and behaviors those around you exhibit. Do they encourage you to act with integrity, or do they revel in gossip and dishonesty? Are their interactions with you and with others marked by respect and kindness, or do they seek to dominate and control? It's not just about their behavior towards you, but also their approach to life. Stoic wisdom teaches us to choose companions who see challenges as opportunities, who speak with sincerity, and who act with consideration for the well-being of the broader community. Remember, dear viewers, the company you keep should not only refrain from manipulating you, but should actively support your journey towards living a Stoic life. They should be allies in your pursuit of personal growth, champions of your autonomy, and partners in the practice of virtue. To cultivate a circle of positive influence, be proactive. Seek out communities, both in person and online, where Stoic ideals are embraced. Engage in activities that align with your values, and through these, you will naturally attract individuals who share your vision for a life of purpose and self-mastery. However, be prepared that in the process of aligning your social surroundings with Stoic principles, you may need to make tough decisions. This might involve distancing yourself from those who persistently undermine your autonomy, or resisting the pull to conform to a group that doesn't resonate with your values. In summary, the Stoic lesson of the company you keep is a call to be selective and intentional about the relationships we nurture. Our companions are our mirrors, reflecting back to us our own virtues and flaws. By surrounding ourselves with the right people, we not only protect ourselves from being manipulated, but also foster a support system that uplifts us towards the highest version of ourselves. This lesson, dear Stoic seekers, is a cornerstone in building a life immune to the tides of manipulation, a life where autonomy and wisdom flourish in the company of like-minded souls. As we proceed to the next Stoic lesson, carry with you the understanding that the people around you are pivotal in shaping the narrative of your life. Choose your company wisely, and your path will be one of strength and sovereignty. Stay with us as we continue to unveil more timeless Stoic strategies to maintain control over your destiny and ensure that your will remains firmly in your hands. The futility of anger. Stoics believe anger is a poor response to manipulation, and as we delve into our 11th Stoic lesson, we'll explore why this is the case. Anger, while a natural human emotion, is often an obstacle that clouds our judgment, disrupts our inner peace, and gives manipulators an edge over us. Envision anger as a wildfire. Untamed, it ravages our rational mind, leaving us susceptible to rash decisions and regrettable actions. The Stoics recognize this and emphasize the importance of quelling the flames of anger before they consume our ability to think clearly. When faced with manipulation, responding with anger is akin to handing over the reins of control to the very person trying to subdue our will. What then should be our recourse? The answer lies in transforming our anger into something the Stoics valued greatly, a teachable moment for the self. Instead of lashing out, we can ask ourselves, what can this situation teach me about my vulnerabilities, or about the nature of others? This shift in perspective enables us to rise above the provocations and maintain our composure. To master the Stoic response to anger, one must practice patience and reflection. When you feel the heat of anger rising, take a deliberate pause. Disconnect from the source of provocation and give yourself time to cool down and collect your thoughts. During this time, reflect on the Stoic virtues, especially temperance and courage, and on the long-term effects your immediate response could have. Another effective technique is to engage in a dialogue with your anger. Treat it as an advisor whose counsel needs to be examined, but not necessarily followed. By understanding the root of your anger, you may uncover insecurities or false beliefs that manipulators exploit. With this knowledge, you can work towards strengthening these areas of your psyche, making yourself less prone to manipulation. Practicing empathy can also help in mitigating anger. Attempt to understand the motivations behind the manipulator's actions. Often, they are driven by their own fears and insecurities. Recognizing this humanizes them and reduces the intensity of our anger, allowing us to meet deceit with discernment instead of disdain. In the grand scheme of Stoic teachings, the futility of anger becomes clear. It is an emotion that serves neither our well-being nor our quest for virtue. It is a temporary surge that offers no constructive solutions. By learning to control our anger, we maintain our autonomy and demonstrate a strength that manipulation cannot overcome. Remember, dear Stoic seekers, anger can be the master of fools, but for the wise, it is but a signal, a call to higher reasoning and deeper understanding. As we carry on through our Stoic lessons, keep this in mind. A calm and focused mind is your greatest defense against manipulation. Stay vigilant, stay thoughtful, and let your actions be guided by wisdom, not by the fleeting fires of anger. Join us in the next episode as we continue to arm ourselves with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, charting a course towards a life of deliberate intent and unshakable autonomy. Desire and Aversion, our 12th lesson from the Stoic archives, centers on the mastery over our yearnings and repulsions. By understanding and controlling these two powerful forces, we can greatly diminish our susceptibility to the manipulative tactics of others, for it is in the realm of desire and aversion where we often find ourselves most exposed to external influences. Imagine your desires as an inner force that propels you towards certain experiences, objects, or people. On the flip side, aversion is the intrinsic urge that drives you away from what you perceive as undesirable or harmful. When left unchecked, these instincts can lead us astray, especially when someone adeptly manipulates them to align with their own objectives. To harness these instincts in a Stoic manner, we must first become acutely aware of them. Recognize when your pulse quickens at the thought of acquiring something new or when your stomach tightens at the prospect of a particular situation. Acknowledgement is the precursor to control. The next step is to question the validity of your desires and aversions. Are they based on genuine need and personal conviction, or have they been planted in your psyche by clever marketing, societal conditioning, or peer influence? The Stoic practice of scrutiny dispels the illusion that often cloaks our unchecked desires. One effective practice in mastering these instincts is the Stoic concept of premeditatio malorum, which invites us to contemplate the possible downsides of fulfilling our desires or avoiding our dislikes. This reflection leads to a more balanced perspective, reducing the emotional charge that desires and aversions hold over us. Additionally, Stoics recommend exercising voluntary discomfort. By occasionally denying oneself a pleasure or willingly facing a discomfort, one builds resilience in the face of desire and aversion. It's akin to an athlete in training. By purposefully engaging with these challenges, we grow stronger and less prone to being swayed by external manipulation. Remember to realign your focus on what truly matters, the pursuit of virtue and the development of character. Desires and aversions are transient, and when we anchor our actions in Stoic principles, we maintain control over our decisions. In conclusion, mastering desire and aversion is about cultivating an inner fortress of restraint and discernment. By doing so, we ensure that our choices reflect our true will, rather than the whims of manipulative forces. As we journey further into the heart of Stoic teachings, hold steadfast to this lesson. It is a shield against the seductive dance of manipulation, a reminder that the power to choose our path lies within us, not in the hands or words of others. Stay with us as we continue to unveil the wisdom of Stoicism, guiding you toward a life of self-possession and dignity. The dichotomy of control, our 13th vital Stoic lesson, teaches us to discern between what is within our control and what lies outside it, especially in the context of manipulation. This wisdom is a beacon that guides us to sovereignty over our inner world, even when external forces seek to disrupt our course. Embrace this principle. We cannot control the actions, thoughts, or intentions of others, but we can control our reactions to them. When manipulation casts its shadow, remember that the only domain you truly govern is your own mind and your own will. To apply the dichotomy of control, begin by conducting a simple yet profound exercise. Draw 2 columns on a page. In one, list the things in life you can control, your decisions, your judgments, your virtues. In the other, note the things you cannot control, others' opinions, their actions, the past, and the future. This visual representation solidifies the Stoic stance. Invest your energy and focus only on the first column. When someone attempts to manipulate you, you can quickly identify it as something outside of your control, and therefore not worth your inner turmoil. To reinforce your understanding, consider this scenario. A friend pressures you into making a choice that benefits them, not you. Instead of becoming entangled in their web, you pause, refer to your 2 columns, and recognize that your friend's actions are beyond your control. What you can control is your response, and that is where you exercise your power. Practicing the dichotomy of control also involves letting go of the desire to change or influence what is not ours to alter. It is accepting that manipulation will exist, but it does not have to affect us unless we allow it. It's the realization that our tranquility is not dictated by external events, but by the strength and stability of our inner state. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to set intentions based on our control. Before entering situations ripe for manipulation, a negotiation, a debate, a high-pressure sales environment, remind yourself of your intentions. I intend to remain true to my values, you might affirm, regardless of the persuasive tactics employed. By adhering to the dichotomy of control, we build an impregnable fortress around our autonomy. We remain the captains of our souls, unswayed by the currents of coercion. Our choices echo our principles, untainted by the attempts of others to seize the helm. In summation, the dichotomy of control is a foundational Stoic lesson that equips us with the clarity to distinguish between what is and isn't ours to command. By focusing on our sphere of control, we nullify the potential impact of manipulation on our will. As we continue to navigate through these Stoic lessons, keep the dichotomy of control as your constant companion. With it, you will walk through life with an unwavering sense of purpose and self-governance, making you impervious to the winds of manipulation. Stay tuned as our next lesson further empowers you on your Stoic journey to personal freedom and ethical living. The wisdom of the Stoics is a wellspring of empowerment. Drink deeply, and your resolve will be unbreakable. Assertive Stoicism. How to say no with Stoic confidence and assertiveness. This 14th lesson hails from the empowering Stoic practices that enable us to stand resolute in our autonomy. It's about the art of refusal, the power of saying no when faced with manipulation or coercion. To assert oneself with Stoic confidence is to honor your boundaries and to vocalize your convictions without aggression or passivity. Let's peel back the layers on how to cultivate this assertive Stoicism. It begins with the clarity of your values and principles, understanding precisely what you stand for. This knowledge serves as the foundation for your assertive responses. When the moment arises to decline an unwelcome suggestion or an unfair request, you do so with the serenity of one who is firmly anchored in their virtues. The Stoics teach us that no is a complete sentence. It requires no elaboration, no justification, and no apology. To put this into practice, consider a situation where you're pressured to take on additional responsibilities that would compromise your well-being or go against your ethical framework. An assertive Stoic response would be simple, direct, and delivered with calm certainty. Thank you for thinking of me, but I must decline. To enhance your assertiveness, It is crucial to practice self-respect. Recognize that your time, your energy, and your integrity are precious and deserve protection. This mindset will embolden you to uphold your no with the same conviction as you would a yes. Another key aspect of assertive stoicism is effective communication. Approach each interaction with the intent to express your perspective honestly and respectfully. You can assert your stance while still acknowledging the other person's point of view. For instance, you might say, I understand this is important to you, but my decision remains firm. It's also vital to maintain a composed demeanor, regardless of any pushback or attempts to guilt-trip you into submission. The Stoic practitioner does not succumb to emotional manipulation. Instead, they remain tranquil, unshaken by external attempts to unsettle their equilibrium. In the journey towards assertive stoicism, it is important to remember that refusal is not an act of hostility, but an affirmation of self-governance. It is the right and responsibility of every Stoic to hold fast to their autonomy, exercising their ability to say no, not out of stubbornness, but out of a profound allegiance to their principles. In summary, assertive stoicism is an essential discipline for those who seek to navigate life on their terms. It is the shield that protects your will from being commandeered by others and the sword that carves out a path consistent with your Stoic ideals. By mastering the art of saying no, you maintain control over your choices, your actions, and ultimately, your destiny. Stay with us as we delve further into the Stoic strategies that assert your independence and armor you against the onslaught of manipulation. With each lesson, we grow stronger, more resilient, and ever more adept at the Stoic way of living. Remember, it's not just about what life brings to you, but how you assertively respond to it that defines your Stoic journey. Reflect and prepare, using Stoic reflection to prepare for future attempts of manipulation. The 15th Stoic lesson imparts the art of reflection, a critical practice that arms us against the sly tactics of manipulation. It teaches us to look back to look forward, to use the mirror of the past as a guide for future encounters. By analyzing our experiences with a Stoic mindset, we prepare ourselves for similar challenges ahead, ensuring that our will remains untarnished by external influences. In the Stoic tradition, reflection is not a passive activity, but an active engagement with our thoughts and actions. It's the meticulous examination of our responses to past manipulations, the lessons learned, and the strategies that were effective or fell short. This introspection lays the groundwork for mental rehearsals, where we can simulate potential scenarios and sharpen our ability to deflect future attempts to control our decisions. To harness the power of reflection, regularly carve out time for thoughtful examination of your day. Ask yourself questions like, did I face any situations where my autonomy was challenged? Or how did I handle attempts to sway my opinions? These inquiries open the door to a deeper understanding of your reactions and offer insights into areas ripe for improvement. A powerful method for Stoic reflection is to write in a journal, documenting instances of manipulation, your thoughts at the time, and how you chose to react. This record becomes a valuable tool for identifying patterns in others' behavior and your vulnerabilities, enabling you to fortify your defenses against similar tactics in the future. Another aspect of preparation is to engage in Stoic visualization exercises. Imagine yourself in a variety of manipulative situations and visualize how you would ideally respond, guided by the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This mental practice builds resilience and confidence, equipping you to remain steadfast when faced with real-world pressures. The Stoic's goal in reflection is not to berate oneself for succumbing to manipulation, but to learn and grow from each experience. By adopting a mindset of continuous improvement, we cultivate a proactive approach to life, where preparation and reflection become the twin guardians of our autonomy. In summary, the lesson of reflect and prepare teaches us that the past can be a rich source of wisdom for the future. By engaging in Stoic reflection, we increase our self-awareness, sharpen our decision-making skills, and prepare our minds for encounters where our will might be tested. By looking inward with intent and foresight, we ensure that our path remains true to our principles, unswayed by the fleeting whims of manipulators. Stay tuned as we continue on this Stoic path, for every lesson draws us closer to a life of intentional autonomy. Embrace the practice of reflection and preparation, and you will transform each experience, each challenge, into a stepping stone towards greater self-mastery and personal freedom. The power of silence, the Stoic practice of keeping silent to avoid manipulation traps, is our 16th lesson in the Stoic arsenal against being controlled. Silence, a seemingly passive strategy, is, in fact, a potent tool of autonomy and resilience. It allows us to create a space between stimulus and response, giving us the time and clarity to act according to our virtues, rather than react impulsively to manipulation. In the cacophony of everyday life, where words fly swiftly and often carelessly, the Stoics find strength in saying less and observing more. When we practice silence, we're not merely withholding speech, we are actively engaging in the observation of motives, both our own and those of others seeking to influence us. To employ the power of silence, consider moments when you feel the tug of manipulation, perhaps during a heated debate or when faced with high-pressure sales tactics. Instead of immediately responding, embrace silence. This pause creates a buffer, allowing you to assess the situation with a detachment and wisdom characteristic of Stoic thought. During this period of silence, turn to inward contemplation. Reflect on the motives behind the attempt to manipulate you. Is it for their gain, or is it genuinely in your best interest? Use this time to remind yourself of your values, your goals, and your commitment to living a life dictated by reason and virtue. Silence also forces the manipulator to reveal more of their intent. Without your verbal participation, they may inadvertently expose the weakness of their position or the true nature of their agenda. It is often in these quiet spaces that the most telling signs of manipulation come to light. Practicing silence doesn't mean you will always remain mute in the face of manipulation. Instead, it ensures that when you do choose to speak, your words are measured, deliberate, and aligned with your authentic self. It empowers you to have a response that's considered and strategic, rather than one that's reactive and potentially disadvantageous. In the spirit of Stoic discipline, integrate periods of silence into your daily routine. Whether through meditation or moments of quiet introspection, these practices build your comfort with silence, making it a natural part of your response repertoire. By becoming comfortable with silence, you strengthen your command over your presence in any interaction. In conclusion, the power of silence is a refined Stoic practice that bolsters your defenses against manipulation. It is the calm in the storm, the eye that sees, but does not get swept up in the whirlwind of others' machinations. As we advance in our Stoic journey, let us embrace silence as a companion that sharpens our perception, fortifies our will, and preserves the sanctity of our autonomy. Keep this lesson close as we unveil more Stoic wisdom to guide your path. The power of silence is a testament to the strength found in quietude, an affirmation that sometimes the loudest message is one spoken through the serenity of a silent stance. Join us in our next discourse as we continue cultivating a Stoic mindset, immune to the noise and confusion that manipulation seeks to sow. Handling insults, Stoic strategies to stay unbothered by manipulative criticism. As we venture into our 17th Stoic lesson, we shall tackle the harsh terrain of insults and derogatory remarks aimed at undermining our resolve. In mastering Stoic strategies, we build an impervious armor against the barbs of manipulative criticism, allowing us to remain undisturbed and focused on our Stoic path. Insults, by their very nature, are designed to provoke an emotional reaction, often serving the manipulator's goal to destabilize and control us. The Stoic, however, views these verbal attacks not as personal affronts, but as opportunities to practice restraint and deepen their understanding of human behavior. To stay unbothered by manipulative criticism, the first step is to separate the insult from your perception of self-worth. Your value as an individual does not fluctuate with the opinions of others. By internalizing this Stoic principle, you cushion your ego from the blows of demeaning comments. When faced with criticism, you can calmly ask yourself, does this truly reflect who I am? Or is it merely a reflection of the speaker's own mindset and limitations? Another Stoic strategy is to employ empathy towards the individual delivering the insult. Often, those who resort to criticism do so out of their frustrations, insecurities, or desire to exert dominance. Recognizing this humanizes your critic and allows you to respond, or choose not to respond, with compassion rather than animosity. Furthermore, Stoics advise us to examine the content of the insult for any elements of truth. Criticism, even when delivered with malice, may contain insights that can contribute to our growth. By dispassionately analyzing the comments, we can discern valuable feedback and disregard the manipulative chaff. It's also essential to embrace the Stoic practice of amor fati, the love of one's fate. The love of one's fate. This means accepting everything that happens, including insults, as a natural part of life's tapestry. Rather than resisting or resenting these moments, embrace them as necessary trials on the road to virtue and wisdom. Preparing ahead of time for potential insults is also key. Visualize yourself in situations where you might be criticized and rehearse your Stoic responses. This preparation ensures that when the moment comes, your reactions are measured, your demeanor is composed, and your inner peace remains undisturbed. In summation, handling insults as a Stoic means viewing criticism as neither inherently good nor bad, but as neutral occurrences to be met with equanimity. It's about maintaining control over your emotions, staying aligned with your virtues, and responding, or not responding, in a way that reinforces your autonomy and dignity. As we continue to explore the wisdom of Stoicism, bear in mind that the strength to remain unbothered by insults is a testament to your mastery over self. In the face of manipulative criticism, your Stoic resolve is an unyielding fortress, protecting the sovereignty of your spirit. Stay with us as we delve further into the profound lessons of Stoicism, fortifying your resolve to live with intentional focus and serenity. The Stoic pause. Taking a moment before reacting to potential manipulation. The 18th lesson in our Stoic compendium is a powerful tactic known as the Stoic pause. This is the deliberate act of taking a moment of stillness before responding to any situation that has the potential for manipulation. It is in this pause that we find the space to act not out of haste or emotion, but from a place of measured wisdom and self-control. The Stoic pause is the guard at the door of action, ensuring that we do not act impulsively under the influence of others. In the face of pressure or a push towards a particular decision, the pause allows us to step back and view the situation with clarity and objectivity. It creates a buffer between the event and our reaction, providing us with the opportunity to respond in alignment with our Stoic virtues. So how does one effectively implement the Stoic pause? It can be as simple as taking a deep breath when you sense the onset of manipulation. This breath acts as a break in the chain of automatic reaction, giving you a moment to collect your thoughts and reassess the scenario from a Stoic perspective. During the pause, ask yourself key questions. Is this person trying to control my actions? What is the intention behind their words? Does reacting swiftly serve my well-being or my principles? These questions ignite the light of awareness, guiding you towards a response that serves your highest self. Another method to deepen the Stoic pause is to excuse yourself from the immediate environment. If possible, a brief walk or a moment alone can provide the mental distance needed to prevent the seeds of manipulation from taking root. By physically removing yourself from the situation, you grant yourself the time to reflect and the power to decide your next course of action, free from external pressure. It's also beneficial to remind yourself of the transitory nature of the present moment. The pause helps you to recognize that the urgency to respond is often an illusion, a pressure tactic employed by manipulators to provoke an unthinking reaction. By understanding the impermanent nature of the situation, you can approach it with a sense of calm detachment. In conclusion, the Stoic pause is an essential exercise in maintaining autonomy in the face of potential manipulation. By incorporating this practice into your daily life, you cultivate a habit of thoughtful deliberation. The Stoic pause is not a sign of indecision but a demonstration of the strength of will and the presence of mind. It is the fortress that safeguards your freedom to choose and the bulwark against the tide of external influence. As we journey onward through the Stoic lessons, let the Stoic pause be your trusted ally in the dance of interaction and decision-making. With this practice, you affirm your ability to react with intention, preserving the sanctity of your choices and the integrity of your Stoic path. Stay with us, For there is still more wisdom to uncover in our journey through Stoicism, where each step is taken with purpose, and every pause is a gateway to empowerment and peace. Psychological warfare. Stoic tactics for staying mentally strong against manipulative tactics. As we navigate through our 19th lesson, we delve into the art of Stoic mental fortitude. Stoicism offers a strategic defense against the psychological warfare wielded by those who employ manipulative tactics. It's a battle often fought in the silent arenas of the mind, where strength is measured not by physical might, but by unwavering resolve and mental clarity. The quintessential Stoic tactic for psychological resilience is cultivating an inner citadel, a fortress within your psyche, where your principles and sense of self are securely ensconced. Inside this stronghold, you are immune to the manipulative sieges aimed at breaching your defenses. It is here that you can retreat and recenter, no matter the chaos or cunning strategies employed against you. To solidify this inner citadel, one must engage in the practice of constant self-reflection, always aligning actions with core Stoic virtues. It also requires the discipline to train your mind to detach from harmful mental patterns that manipulators attempt to exploit. By reinforcing your thought processes with Stoic wisdom, you become less susceptible to the guile and deceit that others may use in an attempt to sway your decisions. An effective method to enhance your mental resilience is to adopt a mantra derived from Stoic teachings. Statements like, "I am the master of my thoughts," or "I will not be moved by external forces," can serve as a rallying cry when you face attempts at psychological manipulation. These mantras remind you of your inner strength and commitment to Stoic ideals in moments of mental conflict. Another Stoic strategy is the premeditation of adversities, or premeditatio malorum. By anticipating potential manipulative scenarios and mentally preparing for them, you armor yourself against the shock and disorientation that such tactics are designed to create. This forethought allows you to respond with poise and conviction, rather than with confusion and susceptibility. In addition, Stoics emphasize the importance of maintaining a perspective that is rooted in reality. By actively distinguishing between perceptions and facts, you prevent manipulative influences from distorting your understanding of a situation. This objective stance is a bulwark against the psychological games that aim to undermine your sense of truth and judgment. In conclusion, psychological warfare requires us to harness the full arsenal of Stoic tactics to remain mentally strong amid the relentless barrage of manipulative forces. By building and maintaining your inner citadel, adopting empowering mantras, preparing mentally for adversity, and staying firmly grounded in reality, you establish an indomitable presence that manipulation cannot penetrate. As we approach the final lesson in our Stoic series, remember that your mind is your domain, one that no external force can conquer as long as you nurture and defend it with the diligence and wisdom that Stoicism imparts. The path towards mental strength is a journey of continuous growth and practice. Walk it with the certainty that your Stoic principles will lead you to a life of autonomy and peace. Stay with us, for our concluding lesson will bring together the full spectrum of Stoic wisdom, equipping you to stand tall and unshaken in a world of manipulation, grasping manipulators' intent, analyzing the motives of manipulators with Stoic acumen. As we arrive at our 20th and concluding Stoic lesson, we direct our focus to the heart of manipulation, understanding the intentions behind those who would seek to control us. This final teaching is about employing Stoic acumen to dissect and comprehend the hidden motives that fuel manipulative behavior. In a world teeming with influence and persuasion, the Stoic is equipped with the tools to pierce through the veil of manipulation, to discern the true reasons that lie beneath. By analyzing the motives of manipulators with a clear and unperturbed mind, we gain the upper hand, transforming what might have been a moment of vulnerability into one of empowerment. The Stoic approach to grasping a manipulator's intent is not about judgment or retribution, but seeking understanding. When we encounter manipulation, it's crucial to ask ourselves, what is the underlying goal of this individual? What do they stand to gain from altering my course? It's about shifting our perception from being a potential victim to becoming an insightful observer. To refine this skill, Stoics recommend the practice of cognitive empathy, the ability to see situations from the manipulator's point of view without adopting their mindset. This enables us to understand their motivations and tactics without internalizing their effect. By maintaining emotional distance, we preserve our autonomy and remain in control of our responses. Moreover, Stoicism advises us to reflect on the nature of human desires and fears, which often drive manipulative behavior. Is the manipulator seeking approval, power, security, or something else? Recognizing these driving forces allows us to respond with informed wisdom rather than reactive emotion. Another Stoic practice is to consistently uphold the virtues of honesty and transparency in our interactions. By doing so, we set a standard that discourages manipulation and fosters open, genuine communication. It also helps us to quickly identify when others are not meeting these same standards and may be attempting to manipulate. In essence, grasping manipulators' intent is about applying the full spectrum of Stoic lessons that we've explored together. It's the culmination of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, all converging to provide us with a profound understanding of human behavior and the resilience to remain unaffected by it. So, dear viewers, as we conclude our insights into Stoic strategies for avoiding manipulation, remember that you are equipped with an invaluable toolkit for life. Keep these lessons close to your heart and in your daily practices. They are your safeguards against the pull of manipulation, guiding you to live with intention, dignity, and true freedom. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Stoic philosophy. If you found strength and solace in these teachings, please like, share, and subscribe for more empowering content. And remember, the key to avoiding manipulation is not just knowledge, but the practice and application of Stoic wisdom in your daily life. So, stay vigilant, stay wise, and above all, stay Stoic. Until next time, may your path be clear and your will be strong. Emotional independence, the 21st lesson on our Stoic exploration, provides us with the fortitude to forge an unwavering emotional resilience against manipulation. This crucial practice ensures that we remain anchored in our principles, with emotions that serve us rather than hinder us. As we delve into the heart of cultivating Stoic emotional independence, we come to understand that the true bastion of freedom lies within the realm of our own emotional responses. In the context of manipulation, our emotions can often be the levers by which others seek to control us. Fear, guilt, excitement, or affection can be exploited to steer us away from our reasoned choices. To combat this, we must develop a steadfast emotional independence that allows us to experience our emotions without allowing them to cloud our judgment or dictate our actions. The path to emotional independence begins with the recognition that while we may not have control over what we feel, we do have control over how we process and act upon those feelings. It requires us to take a step back when strong emotions surface, acknowledging them without immediately succumbing to their pull. To deepen your emotional independence, practice self-awareness. Regularly check in with yourself to identify the emotions you're experiencing and their underlying causes. This ongoing dialogue with your inner self helps you to understand your emotional triggers and to anticipate your reactions in various scenarios. Another key element in cultivating emotional resilience is the Stoic practice of objective observation. When you observe your emotions as a bystander, you create a healthy separation that neutralizes the impact of manipulation. You're able to say, I recognize this feeling of urgency or flattery, but I choose not to let it sway me from my reasoned decisions. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us the value of apatheia, the peace of mind that comes from a lack of disturbance by passion. It's not about suppressing or denying your emotions, but rather about finding harmony within them. By striving for apatheia, you aim to reach a state where your emotional well-being is not at the mercy of external circumstances or others' intentions. In cultivating emotional independence, remember that it is a skill that strengthens with practice. Face each attempt at manipulation as an opportunity to exercise and reinforce your emotional fortitude. Over time, you'll find that your emotional responses become allies in upholding your autonomy, rather than channels for others to assert their influence. In summary, emotional independence is a vital Stoic endeavor that buffers you from the tumultuous seas of manipulation. It equips you with the ability to feel deeply yet remain decisively unswayed in your pursuit of a Stoic life, the life you choose. free from the unseen strings of emotional exploitation. As we conclude, reflect upon the emotional independence you've cultivated and carry it forward as a sentinel of your spirit. And if you value the strength and clarity these Stoic lessons have brought you, consider subscribing, sharing, and liking this content to journey further into the realm of Stoicism. Together, let's continue to nurture our resilience and expand our capacity for true emotional independence. Until our paths cross again, may you navigate the waters of life with the steadiness of a Stoic, unshaken by the waves of manipulation, learning from the past, historical Stoic figures who dealt with manipulation. The 22nd lesson in our Stoic series calls us to turn our gaze backward in time, to draw inspiration from the lives of historical Stoic figures who faced manipulation with unyielding composure. These sages of antiquity provide more than just tales of resilience. They offer us concrete examples of how the application of Stoic principles can steer us through the artifices of control and influence. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a paragon of Stoic virtue, who stood firmly against the manipulative political maneuvers of Julius Caesar. Despite the pressure to conform and the allure of power, Cato remained steadfast in his commitment to the Roman Republic's ideals. His life is a testament to the strength of character and the power of a stoically guided will in resisting manipulation. Then there's the example of Epictetus who, despite being born into slavery, developed an unassailable sense of personal freedom. Through his Stoic practice, Epictetus taught that external circumstances could never enslave our minds unless we allowed them to. His teachings emphasize the profound truths that manipulation has no hold over us when we embrace the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and self-discipline. Let us also reflect upon the wisdom of Seneca, advisor to Emperor Nero. Seneca navigated the treacherous waters of the Roman court, a place rife with deceit and coercion, by upholding Stoic ethics. His writings on tranquility and the shortness of life remind us that manipulation often preys on our forgetfulness of these truths, attempting to entwine us in immediate concerns that distract from our higher purpose. By learning from these historical figures, we see how Stoicism equips us to recognize manipulation, to understand its mechanisms, and to stand immune to its influence. Their lives encourage us to hold firm to our convictions, to align our actions with Stoic principles, and to always act in accordance with our true self, regardless of external pressures. The beauty of these stories from the past is that they are not mere history. They are mirrors reflecting the same struggles we face today. They serve as guidelines on how we can apply Stoic lessons in the present, teaching us that the potency of Stoic wisdom is not bound by time. In studying and honoring the legacy of these Stoic titans, we too can navigate the present-day challenges of manipulation with grace and determination. They remind us that, though the contexts may differ, the essence of the human experience and the allure of manipulation remain constant. By walking in the footsteps of these Stoic masters, we can arm ourselves with the knowledge that our autonomy and freedom are ours to preserve. So, as we draw our Stoic journey to a close, let's carry forward the indelible marks left by these historical figures. And if you found solace and empowerment in the Stoic approach to handling manipulation, please consider subscribing, sharing, and hitting the like button for more enriching content. Together we continue to build upon the wisdom of the ancients, forging a life of virtue, independence, and purpose. Until we meet again, may your reflections on the past fortify your present, and may the examples of historical Stoic figures guide your steps with unflappable integrity in the face of any attempt at manipulation. In conclusion, dear Stoic seekers, we have journeyed together through 22 powerful lessons from the rich philosophy of Stoicism, each offering profound insights into resisting manipulation and asserting our autonomy. From understanding the dichotomy of control to embracing emotional independence, these teachings provide a blueprint for living a life guided by virtue, wisdom, and self-mastery. The stories of historical Stoic figures remind us that the challenge of confronting manipulation is as old as humanity itself, yet the Stoic principles remain timeless in their relevance and application. By adopting these lessons into our daily lives, we fortify our emotional and intellectual defenses, ensuring that our decisions are reflections of our true selves, unperturbed by external pressures or influences. As we wrap up this Stoic exploration, I call upon each of you to actively apply these lessons. Put into practice the art of the Stoic pause, commit to regular self-reflection, and cultivate a circle of companions who uplift and inspire you towards greater heights of personal freedom. Remember, the journey of Stoicism does not end here. It is an ongoing path of growth and learning. When faced with potential manipulation, recall the wisdom of Cato's integrity, Epictetus's indomitable spirit, and Seneca's serene understanding of life's true value. Let these examples and the 22 lessons be your steadfast companions as you navigate life's complex waters. I invite you to recommit to these practices every day, to share these teachings with those who might benefit from them, and to join our community by subscribing to this channel. Together, we will continue to support one another in the pursuit of a life that is truly within our control, a life that is Stoic. Like this video if you found it enlightening, share it to spread the Stoic wisdom, and remember to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join our growing community of modern Stoics. Until next time, may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears, and may your will be as firm as the Stoic virtues that guide it. Thank you for walking this path with me. Stay vigilant, stay wise, and above all, stay Stoic.